Hey, welcome to a very special show focusing on my favorite solo artist of all time, Prince. I have two top 40s for you. My 1980s top 40, which includes songs from his albums from the 80s, and a top 40 of B-sides and extras from the same period. The 80s is my favorite Prince period, but I will do a top 40 of post-1980s Prince. I probably won't do one of the 70s because there's only two albums, and therefore it's not even enough to make a top 40. So let's get into the top 40 of the 1980s. At number 40, Purple Rain, from the album Purple Rain, of course. It's a fantastic song, but I like all the other ones more. Anyway, 39, Vicky Waiting, from the Batman soundtrack album. There's a great chord progression at some point in that song. I'm not sure if you call it a pre-chorus. I think you'd call it a pre-chorus, or maybe the beginning of the chorus. It's so lovely, such a beautiful chord change. At 38, I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man, from Sign of the Times, which happens to be my favourite Prince album of all time. At number 37, Bat Dance, from the Batman soundtrack, of course. At number 36, Starfish and Coffee, from the album Sign of the Times. At number 35, You Got the Look, with Sheena Easton, also from Sign of the Times. And at 34, Dance On, from the album Love Sexy. And I'm sure there'll be some head scratching going on, but this just happens to be the first Prince album that I owned. And with that, there comes a sense of nostalgia that can't be duplicated. I absolutely love Love Sexy. I'm not saying it's a perfect album, but it's a really fantastic album, and I have such great memories of listening to it over and over again. At 33, from the album Parade, Life Can Be So Nice. I love this album so much. I think it's my second favorite Prince album. At number 32, Little Red Corvette. Now I've included the special dance mix because why not, right? From the album 1999. I think it was possibly his first breakout single in the US. Correct me if I'm wrong. At number 31, from Parade, Sometimes It Snows in April. A beautiful ballad. And it's true as well. Sometimes it does snow in April. At number 30, Condition of the Heart, from Around the World in a Day. Another great album. Of course, the 80s is my favorite Prince period, but specifically 85 to 87. If you think about what he was doing in those days, it ended up not being released, but you must know that there's a lot of great stuff from that period in the vault, and some of it has surfaced on bootlegs, some of it surfaced in deluxe editions. Really, really amazing music from that period. I think that was his zenith. At number 29, Temptation, from Around the World in a Day. At number 28, Pop Life, from Around the World in a Day. And at number 27, Around the World in a Day, from Around the World in a Day. I feel like I've said Around the World in a Day way too much. Okay, at 26, Strange Relationship. It's a great song to play on the guitar. From Sign of the Times, of course. Number 25, It. Now, I surprised myself with this inclusion, but I was listening to it, I thought, I really do love this song. And this album has a special place in my heart as well, because it was the second Prince album I owned, and I listened to it over and over again. At number 24, Housequake, also from Sign of the Times. And at 23, Positivity, from Love Sexy. At 22, Alphabet Street, the first single from Love Sexy. And at 21, Something in the Water Does Not Compute. I really love that song. Into the top 20 now. At number 20, 1999, from the album of the same name. At number 19, Paisley Park, from Around the World in a Day. At 18, When Doves Cry, from Purple Rain. And at 17, Raspberry Beret, from Around the World in a Day. That is such an amazing song. I love the video as well. At number 16, Girls and Boys, from Parade. Just wondering if I'd have Raspberry Beret higher than that now in retrospect. At 15, Do You Lie, also from Parade. At number 14, Computer Blue. Now, I wanted to include the full hallway speech version, but yeah, I might go back and do that actually and add that one to it because that's such a great version. The long version is so cool. Number 13, Love Sexy, from Love Sexy, of course. At 12, Sign of the Times, from the album Sign of the Times. And at 11, Anastasia, from the album Love Sexy. A very cool song from a very cool album. At number 10, Let's Go Crazy, from Purple Rain. And at number 9, I Know, from the album Love Sexy. I told you I love that album. The introduction to the album, which is I Know, It's weird. When I first listened to it, I'd heard it before, and yet I hadn't heard it before. It was almost like deja vu. And I was listening to it, and I knew what he was going to say. For some reason, I don't know how that happened. You'll probably say, oh, no, you must have heard it before. But honestly, I hadn't heard it before, but I was familiar with it. And that's probably why it means so much to me. At number 8, Under the Cherry Moon from Parade. At number 7, I Wonder You from Parade. And at number 6, New Position from Parade. And at 5, Christopher Tracy's Parade from Parade. Now, the reason I have those 4 in that sequence is because, for me, the beginning of that album, those 4 tracks, is just exquisite. And it's nice to have them all together. It just seems to work. So that's why they're all together, bunched up like that. At number 4, Darling Nikki from Purple Rain. I absolutely adore that song. And at number 3, well, I love all these songs, of course. Number 3, If I Was Your Girlfriend from Sign of the Times. Beautiful, beautiful song. And number 2, The Beautiful Ones from Purple Rain. So, I mean, that part of the film is just incredible, so emotional, and it's just, no one can do it like Prince. There's no one else. And at number 1, The Ballad of Dorothy Parker from Sign of the Times. Not only my favourite Prince song, but possibly my favourite song of all time. It's strange to have one song that's your favourite, but this song just, it's so perfect. I absolutely love it. So, that's my top 40 of Prince songs from the 80s that were on his albums in the 80s anyway. Now, let's look at B-sides and extras, which are also from the 80s. As far as I know, I'm sure they all are. Yeah, I think so. Then number 40, Another Lonely Christmas, the B-side of I Would Die For You from the deluxe edition of Purple Rain. Also from the deluxe edition of Purple Rain, Electric Intercourse, the studio version. Now, I have somewhere on a CD, not a Prince CD, just a CD, a version of Electric Intercourse, which is so much better than this studio version. I got it from one of those illegal streaming platforms way back in the day, back in the 2000s. And it's much, much better than this version. But, there you go. At number 38, Wally from the Sign of the Times Super Deluxe Edition. At 37, Last Heart from Crystal Ball. And at 36, Don't Let Him Fool You from 1999 Super Deluxe. At 35, Train from Sign of the Times Deluxe Edition. And at 34, Our Destiny Roadhouse Garden from the Purple Rain Deluxe Edition. I'd love to know if you guys have heard the bootlegs of these songs that were out before they were remixed for the deluxe editions. I'd love to know if you have and what your opinions on those are. I know Prince fans are a passionate bunch, and some believe that you mustn't listen to any bootlegs. Of course, it sucks when you're a musician and you've recorded something and you don't want it to be released and other people get hold of it. But as a fan, you want to hear what he's done, especially when it's that good. So there's a conflict of interests there, of course. 33, The Dance Electric from Purple Rain, his version. At 32, In a Large Room with No Light from the Sign of the Times Deluxe. At 31, Good Love from Crystal Ball. Very, very cool. Into the top 30 now, Baby You're a Trip at 30 from Originals. And again, this is, I think it's from a 1982 session, around about that time. Number 29, Do Yourself a Favor, also from the same period, from the 1999 Deluxe Edition. And at 28, The Ball from Sign of the Times Deluxe, which is actually an early version of I Know, which came out on Love Sexy. At 27, Emotional Pump, a very funky song from the Sign of the Times Deluxe. And at 26, a hilarious song called Movie Star, which came out on Crystal Ball. That's brilliant. And at 25, also from Crystal Ball, Chlorine Bacon Skin. If you've got time to listen to that whole song, it's worth it. It's funny because a song that long shouldn't be as engaging, but it really is because it's so damn funky. Just the two of them, just Prince on bass and Morris Day on drums, and Prince doing his thing with the vocals. 24, Witness for the Prosecution, version 2. I do not like version 1 as much. That's from the Sign of the Times Deluxe. At 23, Scarlet Pussy, which came out on the Hits, the B-Sides, which was a compilation, 3 CD compilation from the early 90s-ish, early to mid-90s. At 22, Purple Music from the 1999 Deluxe album. I love that song so much. At 21, Irresistible Bitch, the B-side of Let's Pretend We're Married. I think there's if I may be mistaken, there's a couple of versions of that. It's very, very cool. At number 20, She's Always in My Hair, 12-inch version. I thought I would include the 12-inch version, why not, right? From the album Ultimate, but it's a B-side. I actually have, I made a video on my Prince vinyl. That's here on my channel, so if you watch that, you'll see the story that I have of all my vinyl. At 19, Erotic City, which was a B-side to Let's Go Crazy, I do believe, included in the Purple Rain Deluxe Edition. And at number 18, Love and Sex from the Purple Rain Deluxe Edition. At number 17, Wonderful Day, the 12-inch mix, of course, why not, from Sign of the Times Deluxe. And at 16, Love or Money, the extended 12-inch version. Now, I've heard, by the way, that's the B-side of Kiss. I've heard people say they don't like that song. I really love that song. I love the sound that he was going for in that period. Anyway, number 15, Girl, which is obviously a B-side from the... Oh, let me think now. It's funny because there's singles from around the world and day, and they have different B-sides depending on which territory it was released. But I have those all in that video I was talking about with my Prince vinyl. I'll leave a link in the description. At number 14, another B-side from that period, Hello, the 12-inch extended remix from Raspberry Beret. At 13, Possessed. Now, there's a couple of versions of this, and this is my favorite version. It's from the Purple Rain Deluxe Edition. I think there's also a version on the 1999 Deluxe Edition, but I don't like it as much. At 12, Moonbeam Levels. I think that was the first song to be released after he passed away. The first Vault song to be released after he passed away. And I do believe it's Susan Coleman's favourite song from the Vault. At number 11, All My Dreams from the Sign of the Times Deluxe Edition. That's fantastic. That's actually on a bootleg called Charade, which I really love. At number 10, A Place in Heaven. That's the Prince vocal, not the Lisa vocal. The Lisa vocal's fine. It's charming. I like it, but I love the Prince one. From the Sign of the Times Deluxe. At number 9, How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore, which was a B-side to 1999. There was a 1999 which had the B-side Little Red Corvette, but there was the other version which had this as the B-side. I have it. I have the single with this on the B-side. It was the first Prince single I owned. It was given to me. At number 8, 17 Days, the B-side to When Doves Cry. What a single. When Doves Cry on the A-side, 17 Days on the B-side. Wow. At number 7, Wonderful Ass from the Purple Rain Deluxe Edition. God, I love that. At number 6, Shockadelica, the 12-inch long version from the Sign of the Times Deluxe Edition. And at 5, Feel You Up. Am I right in saying there's a couple of versions of this? Maybe not. Oh yeah, he did a remixed version for the B-side of Party Man, I think. Yeah. At number 4, Crystal Ball from Crystal Ball. Really, really. I mean, I love all these songs. I don't know why I'm saying I really love this song, because that goes for all of them. At number 3, Sexual Suicide. From the Parade Sessions. It's quite obviously from the Parade Sessions, because it sounds... Production-wise, it sounds exactly like a couple of other songs, or one other song from Parade anyway. At number 2, Rebirth of the Flesh, the original outro from the Sign of the Times Deluxe Edition. And at number 1, Dream Factory from Crystal Ball. A lot of songs on here from Crystal Ball. There are some songs on Crystal Ball that I'm not that fond of, but some of them are absolutely golden. Well, there you go. That's a couple of Prince playlists for you. They're both available on Spotify. The links are in the description. And I'll also leave a link to my video where I go through my Prince vinyl. Subscribe if you like my videos. Hit like if you like. And let me know your favourite Prince songs or albums from the 80s in the comments. I'll be back with another video soon. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.